Hi, my friends. Welcome. This is a safe space for anxiety flow that you can come to when you feel that tightness in your chest, or when you feel your heart racing, or when you feel jittery, or any other sensation of anxiety in your body. We all experience anxiety, it's part of being human. And this is designed for you to practice holding anxiety in a safe space that is kind. So I hope this serves you. We'll be doing some movements either on the bed or on the floor. These are all lying down movements. So pick your favorite spot to lie down and do these movements. The only prop that you'll need today is a yoga strap. If you don't have a yoga strap, grab a bathrobe strap, or grab a blanket that you can wrap. We'll be doing some leg stretches with this. So that's all we need to get started. Let's go ahead and find ourselves in a comfortable position in our constructive rest pose to start. So bringing your feet flat on the ground, bringing your knees reaching up toward the ceiling. And taking a moment to allow your body to settle. Let's center our focus. Let's center our intention or our desire on holding a kind space for ourselves. And let's take 3 full, delicious breaths in through the nose and sighing out through the mouth. In through the nose again. And nice full sigh out through the mouth. Don't be shy, make a little noise. In through the nose again. And sigh out through the mouth. Beautiful job. Let's imagine now that our feet are touching the surface underneath them as though it was the first time that they were greeting each other. Notice what that does to your feet to bring a little bit of newness, some awe, some curiosity to your experience. You might even wiggle your feet a little bit or draw up from the ground underneath you with your feet. Just reminding your brain, my feet are alive right now. And let that energy come into your legs and into your pelvis. And allowing your hands to rest over your heart. Let's bring our left hand over the top of our chest and our right hand right on top. And feeling what it's like to be anxious. Maybe there's some anxiety in your body right now, or maybe you bring to mind a memory of a time where you felt anxious. Holding that for a moment in your awareness, allowing the anxiousness to be here. It doesn't need to go away. We're accepting that feeling right now. We're going to hold it. And let's invite that acceptance to come into our hands as we're holding the top of our chest. And what does that acceptance feel like to you? In my body, it feels like a strong holding, that everything underneath my hands right now can relax and feel safe. This boundary, seeing if you can breathe into the boundary of your hands right now, expanding your chest a little bit. And again, sighing out, letting go. Breathing again into the boundary of your hands. And sighing out, letting go. You can even take your top hand, your right hand, and make a gentle but firm fist with your right hand and rest that fist right on the top of that left hand. You can orient the fist any way you want. You can have kind of the side resting against the top of your left hand, or you can kind of bring the knuckles of your fingers of your fist over that left hand over your heart. And let's add in a layer of fierceness that can protect our heart from stories that are fear-based, that can tend to hold our hearts hostage sometimes. Those stories don't have to have a home in our body. Allowing any unnecessary stories or defensiveness or control to release out with every exhale. And with every inhale, breathing into this boundary of safety that is over your heart. Inviting the heartbeat to slow down. Inviting the breath to slow down. And to notice what that feels like for our heart to be covered. Maybe the breath feels just a little bit lighter. Welcoming anything that you feel. And we'll take this freedom work from our chest down into the rest of our center line. Moving down into some movements with our pelvis to further free up our breath. Oftentimes when I notice I'm having trouble breathing because I'm anxious or because I'm stressed, I'll come to the floor or I'll come to a chair and do this exercise I'm about to show you. So keeping your hands over your chest if that feels comfortable. We're going to use our mind's eye to draw a line from the inside of our brain, the center of our brain, down the back of our neck, down the back of our chest space, down into our lower back, and all the way down into the root of our spine, our coccyx, our whole pelvic area. Letting our awareness rest here in our pelvic area. And on an inhale, let's arch the spine forward. And you'll notice the small of your back kind of arching along with you as you do this. That's perfect. And on your exhale, return back to a neutral position. Inhale again. And exhale, let's do the opposite movement. Let's flatten the back against the surface underneath you. And when you do that, you'll notice your tailbone scooping up. Beautiful. And return back to a neutral position. Let's try that one more time. Inhale, rock the pelvis forward. Feel the stretch in your lower back as your body's coming into an arch. And exhale, return back to neutral. Inhale again. And exhale, flatten the back, scoop the tailbone. Draw your ribs in toward your center like you're wrapping a belt around your body. Feel all the muscles in your belly working here. And slowly, slowly release that. Come back to neutral. We've done front, forward, and backward, and now we're going to do left to right. So on your next inhale, go ahead and lean your pelvis toward the left side and allow the right butt cheek to come off of the ground. And release that slowly, come back to neutral. Inhale again, let's lean to the right side. Let the left butt cheek come up just a little bit. And gently return back to neutral. Let's try that again. Inhale, lean to the left. Let the right butt cheek come up. You might notice your right knee wanting to glide forward a little bit as we do this. And release back to neutral. Inhale again, lean to the right, lift the left butt cheek, let the left knee point forward. And release that slowly, coming back to your neutral position. You can take a moment and release your hands down now to the sides. And just pause and notice how those movements have affected your breath. And do you have a little bit more space maybe for your breath in the lower regions of your belly? If so, let's take advantage of that. Let's take in some nice full breaths, filling our belly, our ribs, and our chest full. And again, a nice sigh out. Releasing tension, releasing elements in our body that are causing us tension that aren't necessary. Again, in through the nose and out through the mouth. So we've done forward and backward tilts with the pelvis, and we did left and right tilts with the pelvis. And now I want to invite us to make some circles with those 4 points with our pelvis. This is called a pelvic clock tilt. And so when you're ready, we'll start with a nice deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And inhale, rock the pelvis forward. Let your back arch. You might notice your chin naturally wanting to drop here. And on your exhale, tilt to the right. Let the left butt cheek come up. Inhale again here. And exhale, flatten your back against the ground. Tuck the tailbone up. Beautiful. Take an inhale here. And exhale, rock to the left side. Let the right butt cheek come up. And return to the arch going forward. And all the way back to the right side. Back to the flattened back. Back to the left side. And all the way back to neutral. Checking in with your hips and with your lower back. Just noticing how they're feeling after those movements. And I'll invite you to take a few more circles with your pelvis this way. Maybe reversing directions from what we have done, starting on the left side. And following a pace that feels good in your body, going as slow or as fast as you want to. You can bring your hands to the sides of your hips for support if you'd like. And feel free to allow your head to get involved. Your head might naturally want to turn in the direction that your hips are going. If so, allow that. Let your feet stay involved too, nice and active on the ground underneath you. And when you're satisfied, when your body's done, you can completely let those movements go. Let your hands relax on the ground, palms facing up, and just rest for a moment. Now that we've opened up some space in our center line, let's take that same energy into our arms. And I want to invite you to return back to that intention of holding our space and acceptance. See if you can bring that into your hands. And resting your hands, palms facing up, next to your hips. Go ahead and let's draw a circle around our body with our hands, expanding them out first into a T, and then all the way up to the top of our head. Bring the palms together in prayer position if that's comfortable. And just stay here for a moment. Notice this shape. Feel the opening that might be happening in your armpits. And send some breath and some love, some acceptance into the insides of your shoulders here. Our shoulders carry so much energetic weight in our lives. Let's breathe into them and give them some love, some support. Pressing our palms together, let's reach our palms up over our body like we're slicing a line right over our spine. And slowly, slowly bring our hands in an arch-like shape all the way down to the top of our pelvis. Let the hands part at the pelvis and let them melt down again to the sides of our hips where we first started. I'll invite us to do a few more of these circular movements with our arms. And I invite you to carry forward this energy that we started when we held a boundary of acceptance over our heart at the beginning. Let's take that same energy and now create a boundary around the space surrounding our body with that same acceptance. So here we go. Inhale, let's reach the arms into a T and then up over the tops of our heads, bringing the palms to touch in prayer. Take a nice breath here and pause. Open the shoulders. And then exhale, palms together in prayer position. Let's bring them up over the top of our head, over the top of our heart, and sunset them back down until our hands reach our pelvis. Let the hands part and melt down to the sides of our hips, palms facing up. Inhale again, bringing the arms into that T position and all the way up around our head space, filling our space with kindness toward ourselves. Pause here. Let's open the shoulders, open the chest with a beautiful inhale. And exhale, bring the hands up over our head, slice a line down our midline until our hands reach the top of our pelvis. Let them part and let them return back to where we started. I'll invite you to take one or two more of those at your own pace. Beautiful job. You can meet me back in your constructive rest pose. And feel free to windshield wiper the legs from side to side, allowing some fresh blood flow to come back into the back, letting the arms rest a little bit. And we'll do the last portion of this class to care for our legs. Taking this same idea of containment, holding our space into our legs now, we're going to use our strap. And one of the really cool things about props in yoga, from my perspective, is that they all assist us with really tangibly holding our space, giving us a feeling of support and containment. So as we explore that, I will invite you to take your strap and wrap it around the base of your right foot. If you need to sit up a little bit to get your your foot into the strap, feel free to take your time and do that. But you want each of your hands to be holding one end of the strap, and then the center of the strap is covering the bottom of your right foot. And let's take a moment just to get used to what it's like being in this strap, whether it's your first time or whether you've used yoga straps a lot. Imagine that this is your first time getting to know this strap. And let's bring some energy into it. Let's push away from the strap with your right foot, creating some resistance. And let's push toward your foot with your hands so that we're creating this nice boundary, holding our right leg. And inside this safe boundary for your leg, I want to invite you to let your leg play. Let your leg totally relax. As you're pushing against, I invite you to do some ankle rolls back and forth, one direction and then the other. Maybe even your hips getting into that action as well. Feeling the strength in your arms as you're holding the strap for yourself, and also feeling any lightness that might be here in your leg as it's responding to the edges of this boundary. And we'll take a stretch from here. Go ahead and take your right leg out as far as it wants to go to the right side. We're going to make a V shape with our legs. And again, once you're here, allowing your foot and your leg to play. And let's take some mindful breaths while we're here, in through the nose. Imagine you're breathing all the way up into your head space as you breathe in. And as you exhale, imagine that you're sending the breath down through your chest, into your belly, and even further, the energy from your breath into your hips and into the bottom of your feet. See if you can include that whole range of your body in your awareness as you breathe. Let's take 2 or 3 breaths just like that. In through the nose and out through the mouth, touching the heart and the pelvis all the way down into your foot. Beautiful job. You can bring your right foot back to center now. And from here, let's raise the right foot up off the ground as far as it wants to go. You can keep your knee straight if that's comfortable, or feel free to bend your knee as generously as you would like to as well. The important thing here is not how big the movement is or what the shape looks like. It's really important just to have an inner experience that feels really nourishing to you. So once you've found your appropriate edge, go ahead and take a nice breath in. And on your breath out, go ahead and slowly lower your leg all the way down to the ground. Inhale again, reaching the leg as far as you want to go. And exhale, letting it come back down to the ground. Inhale again, releasing the leg, lifting it as far as you want to go. And exhale, bring it back down to the ground. Beautiful. This time when we lift the leg, we're going to bring it across the left leg. So inhale, lift up straight and cross it over the left leg as far as it wants to come. And feel a nice stretch opening in your right hip. Pressing against the strap with your right foot, arching the toes. And when you're ready, you can release that leg back down to center and completely relax, completely let that leg go. From here, you can step into the strap with your left foot, if that's comfortable for you. And let's go ahead and cultivate the same relationship with this strap on this right side. Inviting in that strength, that acceptance, holding our body, specifically our left leg right now. And let our left leg relax and play a little bit inside this container. Maybe pushing away against the strap with your left foot, maybe rolling the ankle on this side, to the right and to the left. Maybe wiggling the hip a little bit back and forth. And when you're ready, let's take a V shape on this side, gradually drawing the left leg out to the side as far as it wants to go. And when you're ready to stop, go ahead and rest your leg there. And let's do that nice, deep and mindful breathing again, in through the nose. And exhale, touching the chest, touching the pelvis, touching our left foot with our awareness, with our love. Inhale again, all the way up into our headspace. And exhale, sliding it back down into our heart, into our pelvis, and down into our left foot. You can bring your left foot back to center. Beautiful job. And let's do some leg raises on this side. Inhale, raising the left foot up as far as it wants to come. Noticing any differences on this side versus your other side. Once you find a point where your leg wants to stop, take a nice inhale, and then gradually on your exhale, lower that back down to the floor or the bed. And let's inhale again, raise that foot up as far as it wants to go, and exhale, lower back down. One more time. Inhale, raise the foot up. Again, keeping your knee straight or bending it as much as you want to. And gradually let that leg come back down. Beautiful. One more stretch on this left leg. Inhale, reach it up. And let's guide it over the right leg as far as it wants to go. Really arching the toes. Feeling that nice stretch, opening your left hip here. And when you're ready, bringing that leg back down to center. You can let your strap fall to the right side. Or the left side, you can bring it out of the way. And we'll just take a few moments in Shavasana, in our rest pose, to just integrate the movements we've just done. Notice how our feet feel right now. Notice any fresh blood flow moving in our ankles and our calves and our thighs. And then taking a moment in stillness just to be with ourselves. When you're ready, you can turn over to one side, any side, and rest here for a moment. And when you're ready, you can press yourself up to a seated position. Thank you for taking this time to care for yourself. I hope that this helped relieve some anxiety, helped give you a feeling of some stability, some strength around you that creates an emotionally safe space for you just to be yourself. If you liked this video, hit the thumbs up button. Feel free to share this with anyone who might benefit from this practice. And I'll see you next time.